We have to intentionally change this structure. Maybe if we have ethno-linguistic ethnic space like Nigeria, maybe we'll have less clamor for Biafra. Whatever happens, they must have that referendum. If they like, they should have, whether Nigeria restructures or not, there must be a referendum, or there must be an inclusion of secession in our constitution, and let the people exercise that right. If they now decide to stay, but we all know what will happen. We know the outcome, but let them show us. We know the outcome. We know. How do we know? History teaches us. We know the outcome. 1968. Ojukwu was waxing lyrical about how they want to break out of Nigeria. They want to have their own country. And I'm speaking because of what I saw in the comment section earlier. So please stay with me. What was that book now? I'm going to read something to you. It's actually quite funny, to be honest. But I think if these young people from the Southeast, if they really know what their fathers were talking about, maybe they will understand how ridiculous this so-called dream is, because it's no longer a dream, it's becoming a nightmare. I'll find that stuff for you. It's from Anthony Anaro's speech at Addis Ababa. I've got to find it. You like it, by the way. You will. But you find it ridiculous, I assure you. Oh, beautiful. I found it. It's in a book called Crisis and Conflict. Let me start from here. Even secessionist leaders concede. By the way, let me say it again. This is Anthony Nauro, who was the Minister of Information, 12th August 1968. Even secessionist leaders concede that the concept of an Igbo apartheid state, or Igbo from Pakistan, because Pakistan around that time, I'll take that again. Even secessionist leaders concede that the concept of an Igbo apartheid state, or Igbo is untenable. If the federal government were to concede an independent state embracing only Igbo land, that state would not be viable and the secessionist leaders would not accept it. Consequently, they talk of Biafra, in quote, embracing all of the former eastern region because of the agricultural wealth and empty lands. When you read empty lands, think of real estate, where you can build stuff. Because of the agricultural wealth, right, and empty, in quote, lands of the southeastern states. Southeastern states, read Akwa Ibom and Cross River. Those are the states, Akwa Ibom and Cross River states make up the southeastern state. Excuse me. May 27, 1967, the eastern region was divided into three: East Central State, Southeastern State, and River State. River State is present-day Rivers and Bayelsa. Southeastern State is present-day Akwa Ibom and Cross River. East Central is Abia, Anambra, Enugu, Imo, and Ebonyi. So he says here, they talk of Biafra embracing all of the former eastern region because of the agricultural wealth and empty lands, in quote, of the southeastern state, Akwa Ibom and Cross River, and the oil of the river state, Rivers and Bayelsa, and because of access to the sea. Those are the only three reasons. Agricultural wealth and empty lands from the south, from Akwa Ibom and Cross River, oil from river state, and access to the sea. That's all. It is, however, to be noted that 8 of the 12 states of Nigeria, with 80% of its population, have no seaports. The East Central State is therefore not unique in having no seaport within its boundaries. Secessionist leaders also advance the argument that the so-called Biafra can be sovereign, but have a customs union, common currency, common services, including railways, posts and telecommunications, ports, dual citizenship, and extensive economic relations with Nigeria. This is a special suggestion because A, sovereign countries resulting from the disintegration of a large unit and separating in war have little hope of successfully jointly administering or sustaining a customs union. B, extensive economic relations involve human contact and unhindered travel throughout the territory of Nigeria. And that is precisely what the secessionist leaders say is impossible. C, any central organization endowed with adequate powers, I'll explain, to legislate over and administer common customs tariffs, currencies, establishment and controls of industries, railways, airlines, ports, posts and telecommunications, and so on, begins to have the character of an effective central government. These are the business of a federal government, which the secessionist leaders do not want. What is he saying here? He's saying, on the one hand, they don't want Igbo-stan, like Pakistan. They don't want Igbo-stan, that is just Igbo land. They said no. That's one. Therefore, they talk about Biafra, including all of the former eastern region. Why? For three reasons. Number one, they want land. If you read the book Igbo's 25 years after the war by Joe Igbokwe, he quoted Professor Zemiro, yes, Professor Zemiro, in his analysis of the dearth of agricultural land in Igbo land. There are parts that have land, there are parts of Abakaliki, there are parts, different parts in Igbo land that have land, but most of, again, I say this respectfully, nobody's fighting anybody, I'm not being disrespectful, we're just talking, and hopefully as respectfully as I can. There's land. Number one, the land is not as much, that's one. That's why when you read Majriparam in the Listener of 20th October 1960, these are her own words, verbatim, I'm quoting her now. She said, they poured out of the overcrowded forests. It's talking about the particular group, the Igbo. Said they poured out of the overcrowded forests. In other words, the point is that the people were more than the land. If you read the 1958 Willings Commission report, it says that the people were too much for the land to support. Again, I'm not saying any of these things. I don't want to open it, but I'm telling you where to find those things. Number one, Majriparam, 20th October, Listener, 20th October 1960, she said they flooded out of the overcrowded forests. 1958 Willings Commission report says the land could not support them. They were more than the land could support. In other words, the land was not as much. It's very densely populated. That's what they're trying to say. It's densely populated. The land is not that much. Of what is available, not everything is arable. Of what is arable, not everything is fertile. Therefore, there is scarcity of land. Therefore, it makes sense to want the agricultural land in Akwa Ibom and Cross River because they have what is not available. There's agricultural land, then there's land to build. That's what those ones are useful for. It's not about the people, it's about what they have. For River State, those ones have oil. And the third one, access to the sea. That's all. And as of 1968, Anthony Nauro is saying, they keep saying they don't have access to the sea. Well, 80% of Nigeria doesn't have access to the sea. That's what they're saying here. Let me read it again. It says here, it is, however, to be noted that 8 of the 12 states of Nigeria with 80% of its population have no seaports. The East Central State is therefore not unique in having no seaport within its boundaries. So he's saying that even as of 1968, they had this thing about sea. And he's saying that, listen, 80% of Nigeria's population had no access to that same sea. Then, here's the crazy part. Ojukwu and the rest of his team now have this bright idea. Guess what it was? They wanted to have the same customs union with Nigeria. These are the following things they want to have with Nigeria. There will be a separate sovereign nation, but they want to share the following with Nigeria. Number one, customs. Why? See. Number two, common currency. Why? If you want to know why, just think of what happened to Biafran pound after the war. That's why. They want a common, so they will still be using Nigerian pound, but they'll have their own separate nation. Number three, common services including railways. We'll be sharing railways, but you have a separate nation. Then they wanted posts and telecommunications, and everything will be all of these things will be controlled from the center, and that center will be most likely Nigeria, because Nigeria has all these advantages because everything is already established in Nigeria. So you want posts and telecommunications. Then they want ports to be administered by both of us, and we should share these things. Then the crazy part, they wanted dual citizenship. In other words, hyphenated identity, Biafran Nigerian. You are not Nigerian, but you carry a passport that says Biafran Nigerian, dual citizenship. But you really want to break out of Nigeria because Nigeria is a zoo, but you want to carry the passport. And then the last one, extensive economic relations with Nigeria. If Nigeria is such a bad place, it's such a zoo, why on earth would you want to have a dual citizenship? Why on earth would you want to have dual citizenship? And if you think this is just about 1968, I promise you, I heard something similar in 2025. Someone saying, we want Biafra, I want to get out of your country, but I will still be Nigerian. No, I'm like, this place is a zoo, according to you. Why on earth would you want to live in a zoo when you have a chance to build an El Dorado in your region? This is why we know that even if they have the referendum today, they will say no, but guess what? Let them have it. Let them vote. If they now choose to stay, they have to understand the fact that at least they are the ones who chose to stay. The crazy part is that every single thing that Ojukwu and his people were fighting for in 67, 68, the argument has not changed, and it's stupid. You hate a country, you want to leave, but you want to use the ports and use customs and have the same currency that you don't have the CBN. Are you the one that has the central bank, the central bank of Nigeria? Why are you going to use our currency? We're no longer in the nation. Use our ports, have dual citizenship. These are the issues. And as it was in the 60s, so it is today. So what folks in the Southeast need to sit down and really ask themselves, what do we want? And I'll say it again, nobody in the Southeast is being marginalized. None. Oh, you're marginalizing us. Show us the marginalization. Show us. Victimhood is not reality in the Southeast. It's a strategy. And it's a strategy that has nothing to do with the war. It's a strategy that came before Nigeria was even independent. It's a strategy to get something. It's something from Sir Arthur Richards, I had a meeting in 1947 when he said the East for more and more of everything. Contribute the least. The East contributes the least. Kind of rhymes, sha. It's not good rhyme, or it should be most. Even if you know most, at least contributes enough. Anyway, the East contributes the least, but clamors for more and more. That clamor is where that victimhood comes in. Oh, you are not giving us this. You are not giving us that. Look at us now. Are we? Is it because we are Igbo? All those things are not happening because there's any reality to or truth to what he's saying. It's just that it's a strategy that works. It's a strategy that works, and that's why Zeke used it a lot. He used it a lot. Why am I doing this? Because it's not about Nnamdi Kanu. It's about Nnamdi Kanu. So now let's go to the news of today. And let's start with Bianca Ojukwu. She posted this on her X page. Re-Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sentence on 20th November 2025. I have just returned from Zanzibar, Tanzania, where I have been for the past 5 days on NTAC monitoring exercise to the sad news of the conviction and sentencing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on terrorism charges. This is not the outcome we anticipated nor prayed for. This is not the outcome we anticipated nor prayed for, but the reality that is now upon us. There comes a time in the history of a people when there is need for calm. I therefore advise Igbo and Nigerians as a whole that such period is now. There is utmost need to exercise restraint in response to this situation. All actions which could be deemed incendiary and which might escalate the situation at home or in diaspora should be curtailed. A word is enough for the wise. The situation requires careful reflection and constructive dialogue involving all Igbo stakeholders, governors, senators, members of the House of Representatives, clergy, traditional rulers, politicians, and business people to engage with government authorities collectively. Beating the drums of fury and saber rattling will only generate diminishing returns, and in the worst case scenario, yet another wasteland. The most effective path toward resolution of this crisis is dialogue. The quest for mutual coexistence of Igbo in Nigeria with justice, equity, and dignity is a commitment which requires our collective resolve, and maintaining peace and order is essential to ensuring the security of all citizens, regardless of tribe or creed. I would like to reassure Igbo, Nigerians, and our foreign partners that there are still prospects of resolving this impasse in a manner that reduces national anxiety and societal trauma. I oblige everyone to remain calm and patient. Over the years, I have continued to engage on these issues with several stakeholders. Now is the time for all of us in Alaibo to put all hands on deck and to have a joint engagement, sincerely involving all the southeastern states to seek a political resolution to this matter. Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu, 21 November 2025. This is not the outcome we anticipated nor prayed for. I understand why the Southeast is the way it is alone. I get it. I get it. I get it. I mean, there's nothing more to say. For my show.